Rahim, as we have started a series of lecture on protein metabolism. This is lecture number 3 about protein metabolism. In this lecture we will discuss about protein turnover in our body. That how much protein are synthesized and degraded per day in our body. For example, in our body 300 to 400 gram per day proteins are synthesized and degraded per day. Now how proteins are degraded in our body? For this we need ubiquitin, which is a tag protein, and it tag proteins to be degraded. Now how ubiquitin tag protein for degradation? For this we need three enzymes. These are E1, E2 and E3. E1 activates, E2 conjugates, and E3 bind that protein to the ubiquitin. Now how ubiquitin binds with the protein to be degraded to a target protein? How ubiquitin is added to the target protein? For this, ubiquitin has glycine, a residue on the carboxyl end of the protein sequence, and the protein to be degraded, it has a specific amino acid on the N terminal. On the N terminal, if we have methionine, it indicates that this protein has more half-life compared to arginine and leucine. Another thing which specifies a protein to be degraded is cyclin boxes. If cyclin boxes are present on cyclin boxes are used for the degradation of cell cycling protein, while PEST sequences are also important. P indicates proline, E glutamic acid, is serine, and T threonine. Now, if this system of protein degradation has any defect, what will happen? Now, clinical related to this, defective E3, as we know that our cells and our body has a variety of E3 enzymes. Now, if an enzyme is defective in our body, this a protein which will be degraded by this enzyme, that protein will be accumulated in our body and can lead to different types of disorders like Parkinson disease and Engelmann syndrome. What happens in Parkinson disease? There are resting tremors in Parkinson disease, and this is different from cerebellar dysfunction. In cerebellar dysfunction, there are intentional tremors, while in Parkinson disease there are other neurological signs as well as resting tremors. And in Engelmann syndrome there is mental retardation, other neurological disorders, and growth retardation, etc. And also there are tremors in Engelmann syndrome. Now, while excessive protein turnover, if there is excessive protein turnover due to activation of an enzyme, for example, in HPV, human papilloma virus, there is in the human papilloma virus. What happens in the human papilloma virus? P53 protein, P protein and other DNA repairing proteins are destroyed in human papilloma virus due to a defective E3. So it can lead to cancer. For example, in cervical carcinoma, this defect can cause a lot of disorders like this, and this cervical carcinoma specifically due to this defect in our body. Now, what is amino acid pool? Amino acid pool is that amino acid pool is the amino acid released by hydrolysis and tissue proteins. What is amino acid pool? Amino acid released by hydrolysis and tissue proteins is known as amino acid pool. What is nitrogen equilibrium? Nitrogen equilibrium means that how much nitrogen is excreted and how much nitrogen is taken by the body in the form of protein, etc. Now, positive nitrogen balance means that our protein intake or amino acid are amino acid intake or nitrogen intake is greater than the excretion, while in negative nitrogen balance there is defect in this balance and there is more excretion of nitrogen than ingestion. Now, what causes this negative nitrogen balance, like cancer or other different types of myeloma can cause this negative nitrogen balance? Now, what is how amino acids are catabolized in our body? For this, we need two things, two processes. One is transamination, another is oxidative or non-oxidative deamination. This will be discussed in greater detail in the lecture number 4. So thank you, stay blessed, and subscribe our channel for more such type of videos. And we will discuss also about the lipid and carbohydrate metabolism, and also we will share some lecture, we will upload some lecture to this channel about anatomy and physiology. So subscribe our channel for more such type of videos. Thank you.